Hello everyone, I am William and welcome back to Minecraft. Last time we ironed out the kinks in our spider grinder, i.e. our emerald farm, so now it is working at peak efficiency, and so today I think we make use of these new emeralds to fully expand the village. Or start to, anyway. Now, since this is an underground village, I think our first step will be to clear out the space for all of the new buildings. And to do that, I think I'll want to go and enchant my pickaxe. Hello, I'd like to buy some emeralds, please. I had basically a stack of emeralds, and that was not enough for even one tool. We're gonna be here a while. I see why people use the trick to zombify villagers and then cure them, because that makes their trades really cheap. And I understand the mentality, that feels like cheating, so I'm not gonna do it. Death to spiders. Excuse me, villagers. I am in need of efficiency. Who has it? You do. Hi. Why are you holding your dead friend? Right, so our pickaxe already has fortune on it. Let's put efficiency 5 on it. Mending. And unbreaking 3. And since this is going to be my fortune pickaxe, it'll be mainly for mining ores. I'm gonna name you Prospector. For those who missed the previous episodes, these buildings here are my trading hall. Basically, the bottom floor of both of these is a shop themed around some group of enchantments. And I would like to add one more building on each end. And since I'd like to dig this village into the shape of a big circle, where those buildings fall will determine how much I have to dig out. So let's just dig out the outline of those buildings just so we can calculate how big we want the rest of the village to be. Ooh, diamonds. Love to see it. My ears. The spiders are so loud. Yeah, having efficiency 5 is making this significantly easier. And there we go. The interior walls have been cleared out of this area and this area, making these now prime locations for this kind of shop. Using the power of math, I've determined the village should be an 85 block diameter circle. I pulled up a Minecraft circle generator. This is what an 85 by 85 circle looks like. Let's use that as a reference to dig out the edge of this quadrant to make sure everything lines up as it should. That is the corner we're trying to avoid, so I think we've done well on that front. That should be the edge of the quadrant dug out, so if I did everything right and we dig straight this way, we should be lined up directly with the center of the village. There it is. Let's go. I think we should start by mining out a full quadrant just so we can see how big this project will be. I forgot that you could strip wood. Making sure to put a floor underneath the floor so that we can make building easier. I put a floor underneath the floor by accident. Hello, where did you come from? I swear, jump scares in peaceful games like Minecraft are so much worse than jump scares in actual horror games because you genuinely do not expect it. And I will want to leave these not deep slate diamond ores intact for when I get silk touch, since they are rare, and if I decide to mine those, I will not hear the end of it. That is exactly as much room as I wanted between the edge of the buildings and the edge of the village, which means I've done my math correctly. Let's go. All that mining took quite a lot of durability off old Prospector. Since Prospector has mending, this spider grinder, which is our emerald farm, now doubles as an XP farm, which will slowly but surely replenish the durability on Prospector. Right, now that we've cleared out one quadrant, time to clear out the other 3. Oh, hello, silverfish. I forgot that I was in a mountain biome for a second there. Ooh, there's a mine shaft here. That's a creeper. Okay, bailing now. Oh, that's a big hole in the ground. I am a dwarf and I dig in a hole. Diggy, diggy hole. Diggy, diggy hole. I see why people try to avoid these big digging projects until getting a haste beacon, which is like super endgame stuff. Because being able to instantly mine pretty much everything aside from deep slate stuff would be really nice. Digging stone is plenty fast with efficiency 5, but being able to insta-mine dirt, it just hits a bit different. I'm getting quite a lot of items from mining all this stuff. This seems like the perfect time to use a copper golem. Now, if I recall correctly, the way that it works is that you place a block of copper on the ground and then you put a pumpkin on top. Okay, that didn't work. Maybe you have to shear the pumpkin? There we go. Now we have a copper golem. I shall call you Marvin. I am a hole and I dwarf in a dig. Dwarfy, dwarfy dig. Dwarfy, dwarfy dig. It's interesting how the copper chest oxidizes so much faster than the copper golem. guess it's because he's moving around so much. Now that it's dug out, it's really quite amazing how much there actually is here. And yet how small of a project this is in relation to what I want to do, because I want to haul out the whole friggin' mountain. Probably going to end up cutting most of this out. But just know that it's like 6 hours of this. You're not missing a whole lot. And just like that, after only however long that took, the village is fully dug out. Now it's time to furnish the village, and I think I'll start with this corner building here, which I would like to make a library. Now for the library, I'd kind of like to keep this general design that I had for my other two stores, but instead of the facade being out of deep slate bricks, I'd like to make it out of oak wood. And of course the interior walls I'd still like to have be deep slate bricks, but that's because this oak wood is meant to be a facade more than the actual structure of the building. And to visually separate the floors, let's use some spruce wood. Since these buildings are so tall, even though I said I finished digging out, I will need to dig out a bit more here. Digging directly into the other spider spawner. So that should be the facade done. Let's just take a look and see how it looks. Ah! I missed slightly. Not bad, but I feel it's a little flat. I think first things first, I'd like to add in the floor up there, since I think that'll make working on the top floor much easier. So I think we can, oops, sorry big guy. Ow! There we go. We have a floor now. There we go. Now we actually have a passageway between the buildings. That's what we like to see. And I should probably put some torches up so mobs don't try spawning up here. Speaking of mob spawning right there, get the frick out of here. Yeah, honestly, I think this is more of a liability than a help, so I'm just going to get rid of this monster spawner. I think something that we should try is maybe setting the top floor back by a block. No, I don't like that. Now that looks really flat. Maybe just some stairs could add some definition. Yeah, that adds some definition. Now, the downside about working with wooden stairs as opposed to stone stairs is with stone stairs, you can use a stone cutter and that gets you a better rate. Ow! Where the frick did you come from? This is probably where that baby zombie came from, because I think it's pretty dark over here. Let's also use some stairs to make a small awning over these doors. I mean, it's purely decorative. There's no sunlight down here, so I don't really want to have a big awning, but I think a little awning adds a little character to it. I mean, I haven't done the roof yet, but it definitely feels like it's missing something. And I'm not entirely sure what. Maybe just adding a column to this side would help things out. Oh, that's helped a lot. That has helped a surprising amount. It also occurs to me I seem to have put the stairs in upside down. Whoops. All right, now that I've swapped that around, which do I think looks better? A or B? A definitely looks better. Okay, I feel like A really accentuates the top more, or like makes it stand out as its own thing, and that's kind of what we want these to do. I think that looks pretty good. Got a nice, interesting ceiling. Now, as for the library itself, I do think I'll want to have an oak floor. I think the centerpiece of the library should be our enchanting table, or enchantment table. So I want the enchantment table to go here, just in the middle of everything. Then the internet says we need at least 15 bookshelves. I have 16 here placed in an L to keep the enchantment table open for everyone. Then for the rest of the library, I think I'll just have like pillars of chiseled bookshelves around the place with our enchanted books. But make sure to leave 2 spots open for the lecterns for our mending and unbreaking villagers. Hello, is anyone a librarian who's willing to sell me bookshelves? You are. Actually, let me move these lecterns down a bit since it is getting a bit crowded over here. We are going to need a lot of wood for the bookshelves, so let me go out and get myself some dark oak wood since the dark oak trees are big. Get my bow. Fuck! A creeper has exploded slightly. Patch things back up. I think 1 dark oak tree should do for the purposes of the chiseled bookshelves we need. And there's all the chiseled bookshelves we need. Final bookshelves down here. Grindstone here. Anvil here. And the most important part, the enchantment table. That's the wrong inventory slot. The enchantment table. Oh, and a grindstone's a villager workstation block. I did not know that. So apparently the weaponsmith works in the library now. That's fun. He's in charge of enchanting weapons. That's the lore here. He doesn't actually work on them. He just enchants them. That should be the library done. On to the next door. Same with the library. The new buildings will be of this design. And I'm just going to start with the frame because I'm not entirely sure what I want the front facade to be yet. That's that building barring the front. Let's do the other one. This one's going to be a bit tougher because of where the spider grinder is. I think I'll make this one just the 1 story. There we go. There's the 1 high building that's also missing a front. Now it's just a matter of what shop goes in which space. I do know that I'd like an armor shop and a bow shop for armor enchantments and bow enchantments respectively. It's just a matter of which shop goes where. Given the proximity to the spider grinder, I think it makes more sense to make this the bow shop. Seriously, where the heck is that zombie? Which would mean that this is the armor shop. So for the bow shop, my brain immediately goes to Rito Village from Breath of the Wild or Tears of the Kingdom. So I think that will be spruce. Honestly, I'm not really feeling it. I feel like it's just very, very similar to the oak library we had. Maybe it looked better with more of an orange hue, so maybe more of a jungle. Yeah, that looks good. I like that. Dark oak awning. There we go. That is the frame of our archery shop. Now for our armory shop, because of all this dye right here, I'm thinking something very light in color, so I think this one should be the pale oak. And some birch. Glad we got some pale oak last time. Just like with the other buildings, let's go give this guy an awning. You know, honestly, I think the awnings might be a little bit overkill on these, outside of the library, because I think the library kind of needs that to break it up. On the others, it just kind of feels like overkill. Yeah, I think that looks a lot better, but I do think it is needed for the library. While we're working on redoing the facades, let's redo the facades of the two shops that we've already done. Now for the stonemasons, I do kind of like the deep slate brick look for it. I feel it makes sense as a stonemasonry. However, let's take out these deep slate tiles and replace them with stairs. And let's line the sides with deep slate tiles as well. There we go. I think that looks quite good. Now for the butcher shop, I'm feeling very cherry wood about it. I think cherry wood would work really well for it. And then I think bamboo for the highlights. I don't know why. Butcher shop just seems to give me a bit of a cherry vibe. That tree was in there a second ago. I think I'm gonna need a lot more cherry wood. Yeah, that's barely enough to get up one side, let alone cover the entire front. All right, luckily cherry wood is fairly close by, and the cherry wood biome is right over there. Tree is decaying. I gotta get back now, bye. I seem to have mistimed this trip slightly. That's the view you like to see. Look at that. Yeah, I probably should have headed out and got cherry wood earlier in the morning. That... Just sitting out all night on a boat was not fun. I just went all that way only to get not enough cherry wood. I feel silly right now. Making sure to actually grab a decent number of trees this time so I don't have to come all the way back again. Oh, hi pillagers. Where'd you come from? Are you gonna fire at me or are you just standing your ground? Okay, they were just standing there going, okay, running away. I'm one hit away from death. I'm one hit away from death. Where's my frickin' stew? Where's my frickin' stew? I got the ominous bottle. Let's go. And I desperately need to get back home now. I made a mistake in doing that, trying to just get home as soon as I can. I actually made it home on hard mode during the night. Let's go. I braved the night briefly. Oh, that's Bad Omen 4. This is just normal Bad Omen. Hello, don't mind me. I'm just tearing out your wall. I think that looks really good. Kind of looks like a strawberry cream cookie sort of house. Also, while we're renovating, meant for these to be deep slate tiles, and then the interiors of all of this should be polished deep slate, not deep slate bricks. Very good. I think downtown is looking fantastic. Now let's figure out what we want these buildings to look like. So I think for the armory, I think I'll want to theme it sort of like a clothing shop. So that means I think I want to have the floor be some sort of dark wood, maybe spruce. I like that, but I also think that a lot of clothing stores have like a stone walkway in the middle, so I think I'll go and get myself some polished diorite for that one. Honestly, I think it's a bit too bright. Maybe granite would work better. I like that a lot better. So I think a blast furnace is gonna look a bit out of place in a clothing shop, so I'm just gonna go tuck it away in the corner over here. And then let's put up some dressing rooms along these walls. Plonk down an armor stand here. And then let's go ahead and put up some dirt as placeholders for bookshelves. And then let's put some armor stands in the middle to act as clothing racks. And there we go. That is our clothing store. One last shop. The archery. So for this one, I feel it wants to have a very bright floor. I feel like bamboo would work really well for this floor. That's the end of the universe right there. I don't think so. I don't think that's what I want to go. I think I want to go for birch instead. I think bamboo is just a bit too yellow and a bit too bundly textured for what I'm looking for. That looks good to me. Since I'll mainly want this to be an archery, I think I'll put the fletching table off in the corner at the front, just as like this is my little workstation. And then we'll put some targets on the back wall. wall. Then I'll have, once again, bookshelves just along both of these walls. And there is our archery. And now for the final thing I'd like to do today, it's just a matter of cleaning out these paths and replacing them with tile to make them proper paths. Follow the deep slate tile road. Follow the deep slate tile road. It doesn't really have the same ring to it, does it? I forgot to do the residence over the library. I think I'll want to separate this into 3 separate areas, 2 apartments and then 1 viewing area. There's the dorms. And then from here, we have a nice view of the whole village. Let's just go move this chest monster, and then I think that will be it for today. You know, fun fact, you couldn't always place chests next to each other like this. It used to be you could only place 2 next to each other, and if you wanted any more, it'd have to be trapped chests. With our village outline dug out and our main shopping district predominantly complete, I think it's time we leave it here. Next time, we fully complete the village, including bringing our livestock down and creating an area dedicated to fishing trades. Until then, this has been Minecraft. I'd like to thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you again real soon.